back to Mini Lessons with Miss H, and today we're doing page 125, Unit 3, Week 3. So, the first thing we're going to do is reread the passage and answer the questions. Alright, so I want you to follow along with Ms. Hernandez as we read together. Helping out the community. Doug Long, character, has been riding bikes for a long time. When he was 16, that's age, so it's giving us a setting, he took a solo bike trip. He rode his bike alone across the United States. That's a big journey. Setting for a young man. Now, when Doug rides, it may be with a group of children. Doug works with a volunteer group. The group sets up, so volunteer groups. Volunteer, I don't know if you know what that means, but it's when you help for free, right? So you give your time for free, all right? The group sets up bike rides for city kids. It gives the children time to appreciate and enjoy the world around them. Doug helps them explore nature. So this is kind of like our solution, right? Because that's the point of what Doug does. So he sets up bike rides for city kids. All right? Doug brings his own bike and helmet for a bike trip. The children get bikes to ride and helmets to wear. Then they go to a park or a nature area. On one trip, the children saw a caterpillar. They weren't sure if it was safe to touch it. Doug picked it up. He showed it to the children. Oh, a caterpillar. Once they were certain it was harmless, they all took turns holding it. Between bike trips, the children can learn how to fix bikes. Ooh. So here they have a problem with the caterpillar, right? I just realized that right now. They weren't sure if it was safe to touch. But then here, they were certain it was harmless. That's our solution one. Between bike trips, the children can learn how to fix bikes. They can work at a bike shop. This earns them points. They can use points to get a bike of their own. Doug Long likes to ride his bike, and he likes to help out. He has made his community a better place. Wow. So right here, remember Ms. Hernandez taught you this. Towards the end, most stories will have the author's purpose for writing the story. So he's telling us that Doug Long, has made his community a better place. Okay? And how does the author support this? They give us key details, right? Children learn how to fix bikes. That's our key detail. That's one of them. They learn about nature. That's our second key detail, our third. Here, they ride safely. So they learn how to ride safely. That's another key detail. How safely? They wear helmets. And then here, it kind of introduces us the point of what he does, Doug, to appreciate and enjoy the world around them. So that's his purpose, right? So now I want you to see, how many things did you match with Ms. Hernandez? All right. So here we have title, one. How many annotations? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So out of 16 annotations, how many did you match? Okay. Ready, set, go. All right, so now I want you to do questions 1, 2, and 3 by yourself. All right, I'm going to give you 5 minutes for you to do this. And then after the 5 minutes, review. So, what did the author want you to know about Doug Long when Doug was 16? So, what is a key detail? The author is the person who wrote the story. So, the writer or wrote the text want you to know about Doug Long character, well, the main character in our story, when he was 16. So the first thing I'm going to do is look for the number 16, and then I would underline highlight whatever key detail was in there. So when he was 16, he took a solo bike trip. So remember how I've been teaching you how to answer a question. You always have to answer a question in a complete sentence, right? The author wants you to know that when he was 16, so the author wants you to know that right here. So you would put that when he was 16, he took a solo bike trip. So if you got that right, you put a little happy face next to it, all right? And if you didn't, you need to add that right now by yourself, all right? Now let's move on to number 2. What key detail did the writer, want you to know about Doug's work with a volunteer group? So we're going to look for where we saw volunteer group. I'm going to highlight that. And then here it says, the group sets up bike rides for city kids. Right? So remember, when you answer a question, you have to steal from the question so you can answer in a complete sentence. The author wants you to know about Doug's work with a volunteer group. That. So we're going to put the author wants you to know that. And then you would write, the group sets up bike rides for the city kids. So here we're going to put a number 1 because that was our answer for number 1. And here our answer for number 2. All right. Number 3. What key detail, that means it's in the story, is the author's purpose? So why the person wrote this story? And we always steal from remember Ms. Hernandez taught you that towards the end of the story, they will tell you the author's purpose. Right here, we had it already annotated. He has made his community a better place, right? So the author's purpose for writing this passage is to teach us how Doug has made his community a better place. So now you know, okay? So if you got all of the questions right, and guys, when I say right, you pretty much have to have similar, something that's kind of like my answer. It doesn't have to be all the exact words. But if it sounds like my answer, then it's right. So if you got 3, there's 3 questions. So let me know how many you got right out of all of them, all right? For B, you know what to do, all right? You know to read your first time and then your second time. And see if you read faster. You don't worry about this. You just worry about reading, all right? Until next time, bye.